All right, so when we went down there, I threw the pictures for those chassis. They weren't together, and I took a couple axles, and of course the nuts and spacers weren't right. So I got to make sure I don't lose those because the axles for those are here somewhere. Drag Specialties, starter gear, 65 through 80 FL. Nice. So we'll just pull that apart. So that's first year. So this is pretty much all starter gears. There you go. I go to Larry's and try and buy that. That's a $60 piece. Well, probably 45 anyway. Brand new, and that starter gear fits from 1965 through 1980. So that's a pretty wide range starter gear. Brackets for different stuff. Check that out. Nice box full of blinkers. There's a riser cover plate for something. Blinkers. Somebody was asking me for blinkers not too long ago. So several different styles of blinkers. It's funny, I went down there and about 5 of the pieces I sold in the last week, I duplicated today just out of these boxes. So these are strut mounts. Don't know what the slinky's for. I'll just have to go through this. Mostly just hardware stuff. Another block off plate if you want to block your starter off on a shovel head. So there's probably a lot of really good stuff in here, but most of it's just hardware. And I save all the fasteners and hardware because you never know. I'll dump that out and find 3 bolts that I need, but I'll need 4. Eagle iron, you know, unfortunately there's nothing worth saving there. So this is a tree for something. So by tree, that's part of your steering mechanism. Really small here. I think this is probably a trail bike or something. I don't think that's Harley. So we got a chrome regulator cover. We got an oil filter, brand new in the package for right here. So 37 XL. So that's a Sportster oil filter, brand new in the package. And I have to check. ADT is probably 80 Shovelhead or Sportster XL. So it says XL so it's probably either or, depending on the shovel head. There's a mirror. There's a sprocket shaft. What do we got here? Tie down. Oh, just some tie down extensions. No biggie. I always wonder when they wrap stuff up if it's something super special. And I wouldn't say super special, but it's a nice oil pump. Oh, look at that. So that is a complete oil pump. And it appears like it might even be S&S. I don't know. There's a nice Shovelhead oil pump. Complete, minus that bolt I just dropped. So we're going to hold those gears out. So, I mean, get online, try and order one of those. It's a $250 oil pump right there with all 4 gears. And I've got plenty of gaskets for it. That's cool. What else we got in here? Tank filler for some kind of tank. I'm not sure. So that's a saddlebag rail for a shovel head. Okay, so that cool part that I told you I wasn't sure what it was. Here's 2 more in the package. They're tie-down straps, so they go on the end of your shocks, and you can hook your bungee cords to them. So I've never seen those, but there's another set. So that's kind of cool. The little shelf will hold the hook on a bungee cord. I knew there was something about those I thought was cool. Here's a coil cover. Eagle Spirit, old school bolt-on stuff. Hazard kit, Flaming River. I think that's auto. I don't think that's bike. Sissy bar up on the rear fender. Junk. What do we got here? Shackle, front brake shackle rebuild kit with most of the parts missing, but it's there. You never know. The other mirror that was all beat up. There's a clutch arm for a shovel head. Bushings, brackets. Another set of risers. I bet you the other lower is down there. Live to ride, ride to live. Some people love that. Some people hate it. I could care either way. It's a magneto cover. It'd sure be nice if there's a magneto hiding in here somewhere. Different struts, different coils. We got just a bungee cord. Wow, I didn't know that. So it's Drag Specialties bungee cord. I think I would just go to Harbor Freight or Home Depot. I don't think I'd pay Drag Specialty cost for frickin', it's literally just a bungee cord. I didn't think you could buy bungee cords from a bike dealer, but there you go. Wow, probably paid 3 times what you could at a hardware store. Shifter lever. That's kind of cool. So that's a solid brass foot peg. I wonder if there's another one. Another coil. different kinds of brackets. Oh, look, there's my other. So that's a matching set of saddlebag brackets. So those go on the back of your, around your back wheel. So if you run leather bags, the bags don't fall into your wheel. So those are kind of nice to have. Some more lenses, another Drag Specialties bungee cord, clutch levers. I was really looking for another one of these. So there's a pinion gear and the screen is missing. That first box I had, there was 20 or 30 of the screens that go in there. Kind of cool. Don't know if this is salvageable or not, but don't have to go away right now. Oil plug, different assorted brackets. There's a master cylinder. There's a trailer hitch. Big heavy duty brackets for something. Throttle assemblies. Big piece of threaded something or another. Oh, new old stock, so that's for your handlebar, your gas throttle. It's a push and pull, so you can run that. Just big and clean looking. So that's for your throttle assembly on custom. A push rod. They're sets of 4. Yeah, not a lot in there, but some stuff. Well, about at my wit's end. I've been going for hours, guys. We're going to go through a couple more boxes and then call it a day. I'm looking for my brother Billy Aziz. I'm looking for his speedometer he saw in the pictures. So there's some plug wires, some plugs, assorted, who knows. Again in here, assorted. This is cool because this is magnetic, so I can stick that on the side of my toolbox. Who knows? What do we got here? Is it a, so it's Japanese, so that's an AMF, so that's another Keenan stock, you know, nothing wrong with them. Everything's still there. They're good little carbs. You get them tuned right. Shovelhead or a Sporty will run all day long on those. So big twin case studs. Okay. So that bolts your 2 halves of your case together. There's half of them. All right. So we got a primary cover. Dusty, but it's actually clean, not scratched up. License plate bracket. Spotlights for something. License plate. Air cleaner. What do we got here? Colony bolt kit. Crash bar mounting kit. Okay, CAD plated. 36 through 57. Okay, so that's your rear crash bars for 1936 through 57. That's a cool piece, man, for sure. So this is another box of treasure. Once we get the junk out of the way, there's the other smoked lens. So there is a set of those. See, I've got to get a set of hooks for all this different stuff in the package. What do we got here? So that's a magnetic drain plug, which is kind of cool. Let's see what it says it's for. 5-speed transmission, 98 and up. And it works. So we got that. I don't know what this stuff is. Big twin oil pump plug. Okay, so that goes up in the top of the oil pump. That's cool. Junk. Then going in here, just all kinds of different stuff. Filter mount bolts. Oil pump. So I just bought this kit not too long ago, putting my oil pump together for my Knucklehead, 36 through 67. So that's your old school cast pump. There's a mount kit for it. Here's a hardware kit for 91 and up Sportster. Here's a hardware kit for, oh, handlebar kit. Wow, look at all this stuff, man. Here's another one of those suspension kits for a Springer. Another oil pump kit. Wow. 91 through 98 Dyna. Allen screws. So just all kinds of hardware packs for different applications. That looks like transmission. 67 through 70 Sportster primary cover. Brand new chrome Allen key primary cover bolts complete. Some of these are open, some of them aren't. So I showed you those couple knockoff plates for the starter. There's the true plate that has the hole for the starter. Hub mount, 77 and up cast wheel. So that's your cast wheel. That mounts your rotor. So that would mount your rotor to an AMF front end, brand new in the box. Front coil mounts. Wow, look at all this stuff. Look at that. So this is 87 through 91, big twin and Sportster. So these are your head bolts. Hold your head to the cylinders. Brand new chrome sets. There's another set. There's a big twin cam cover. Nice. 36 through 69. Very cool. And it's funny, I've never heard of Gardner Westcott, but there's a whole box full of their stuff here. 57 through 76 Sportster. Hex cap screws. New old stock, man. New old stock. What is this one? I like the Colony stuff. Another rear crash bar. So that should be 36 through 57 rear crash bar. Complete hardware. And the Colony stuff always fits, man. Colony stuff is top notch. Yeah, 57 through 85 Sportster. So that's your cylinder. Holds your jugs onto your cases. Wow. Just loads and loads of stuff. Chrome plate, Sportster. Yeah. Sprocket cover for Sportster. Wow. That's a fun box. Fun box of stuff. You need to use Sportster, guys. I got a lot of Sportster stuff. So here's an oil pump kit for Big Twin. So that oil pump I was so careful to not drop the bolts out of. There's a complete kit to install those. Wow, for this guy being a body shop, man, he sure had a lot of hardware for motorcycles. What is that for? CCI. So that's carburetor. Oh, that's a Thunderjet adjustable. That's an adjustable jet for a carburetor. Wow. Okay, I'll have to look that part number up. More hardware, more hardware. So I'll go through and itemize all this stuff. Kind of cool. There's a push-in oil gauge for Big Twin, newer style. Fender screws. Wow. Okay. What we got there? That looks like, yeah, transmission oil plug. 36, so that's your Big Twin transmission plug. 1936 through 1985. So I fit just about any ratchet top and some rotary top transmissions all the way back. More cylinder bolts. And the cylinder bolts, even though the ones that are marked Sportster, they're the same from the Big Twin and the Sportster. A starter relay, it's probably still good. Wow, that's a cool box. Really cool box there, guys. Okay, still looking for Billy's speedometer. Okay, nose cone for that Shovelhead. Nose cone for that Shovelhead with a electronic ignition. Oh, it's cooked. Different brackets. Wow. Okay, so there's a J slot with the stamping in it. Harley-Davidson air cleaner. So most of this stuff is assorted brackets. Wonder if the other one's there. Check those out. Those are cool clutch levers. The Naked Lady clutch and brake levers. My old lady Sportster had those, and that's the only thing she was bummed when they left. There's an actual Wagner. Most of these you buy chrome or knockoffs. So this is a Wagner rear master cylinder, and it's there, man. The holes are there. It'll clean up. So that's runnable. And you don't find those. It even has the vented cap. So that's cool. That is a cool master cylinder. I've had no problem with the V-twins or the aftermarket, the drag specialties, but the Wagner's the way to go, man. Top of the line. Battery box. Colony clutch arm rebuild kit. Okay. Trying to get in here to look at these. So these are Panhead dashes. I'll have to do research on these. I think these are real. I don't think these are repops. Well, let's see. What does this one say? Okay, so Great Wall. So this was a GW. So this is a repop one here. It's in good shape, but this one might be original. I don't know. I'll have to do some work on that. So that's old Panhead style dash. There's another Shovelhead dash, if I'm not mistaken. There's a triple tree for a wide glide. There's a light bar for Shovelhead or Panhead. I'm looking for, this is the one the old lady wrapped it up. So this is what they call a tombstone speedometer, because that looks like a tombstone, but it's custom chrome. So it's brand new, and it'll work. There's nothing wrong with it. Billy was hoping it was an old school tombstone speedo in good shape, $400 or $500. This you can buy them all day long for $75. Still a cool piece. Wow. Wonder what these are for. These Pioneer copper gaskets for something. Spacers, I don't know. I have to research. Again, I don't know if that's car, bike. Pretty good about knowing what some stuff is, but not all of it. So these left and right are some sort of quick release. I don't know if it's a quick release on your forks for a windshield. That's what it looks like to me, a windshield left and right. So that's a windshield mount kit. Gas caps. There's a couple of kickstand mounts. The kickstand goes up through there. We had found a kickstand before. That's a cool old light. So that's an old chopper light. A lot of guys ran those on the bobtail knuckles and stuff with the blue dot. So that's a cool bike light. What we got here is a old school. So that's a Panhead style dash assembly. Speedo's aftermarket, but parts is parts, man. Parts is parts. So that's about it in that box. Okay, so headlight trim rings, headlight buckets. Oh, there's another rubber for the footboard on the back rear footboard. So there is a footboard and bracket. Don't know what it's off of. So the bracket sits there, the footboard will fold over. Probably a touring bike of sorts. Now that's cool. So that's a 19, I don't know a year, but the old 45, like my Servi-Car, that's a shifter bracket for 45 tank shift. That's pretty cool. So that's a air cleaner bracket for a Evo. This brake assembly, somebody was just looking for that stock brake assembly. Shovel or Evo, if I'm not mistaken. Shocks for days. Just add them to the pile of shocks. Intake manifold. So it's not marked, but that'll run S&S. And it's got the O-ring style. So that's a good intake manifold. Another riser. A couple risers. This is a starter. I wonder what this starter is. So that's a whole starter assembly. I don't know what flavor it's for, but we'll save it. Somebody will need it. I'll bench test it and see if it runs. Another intake, so check that out. Wow. So this is an S&S style. It's got the shelf, so it's an O-ring style. And somebody has welded that spacer. So that big old spacer is usually got a gasket in it. So somebody's made that to space out an S&S carburetor. And really was pretty well done, man. I'm not a welder by any means, but to weld that aluminum that clean, that's a cool piece. I don't know if you can see in there. Hard to see, but right in there you can see the line. So that spacer was welded to that intake. That's a cool piece. If nothing else, I'll be an old guy in my deathbed talking about all these cool pieces of junk that my kids are going to fight over. We laughingly, me and the old lady told the lady we bought all this stuff from that we're spending every penny we got on bike parts, and we got 5 kids. So the 5 kids, when me and the old lady die, we're going to be up on a cloud in heaven, and we're going to be looking down watching the 5 kids fight over all this junk. So that's a nice riser set. It's got the chrome lowers, 2-inch. It's a cool set. I mean, I've got a few of them, but different applications, you never know. Another shifter lever. Oh, those are the 2 axles I took to make sure we had axles. There's a switch. Let me look at this. So I can get the keys for this. And this actually, I don't think, oh no, this is a repop. So it says Japan on it. But some of the Japans are all plastic. This one, all your connecting points are metal. So that's a good switch. It'll probably run. And some assorted stuff. I mean, I don't know what the shocks are off of. Looky there. So that is real old school. That's not a repop. I wonder if the other one's around somewhere. So those are what I should be running on the Knucklehead, are the Half Moon Harleys. So hopefully the other one's around. We'd mad dashed, went and picked this up, and it was in 2 halves of a garage. So the old lady, all this stuff was on wooden shelves. We took a few boxes. The old lady started stuffing boxes here. I started stuffing wheels and all the big stuff in the truck. So I don't really know what's in anything. I hope the other half of those floorboards are in here. So here is another Panhead dash. Here's I think Evo primary. Gouged up here, which is kind of funny. Usually, yeah. So it's gouged here too. So that's when you turn tight and you gouge that out. This one must have went all the way over. But I bet you it's straight. So this one is marked. So this is Harley-Davidson. So it's HD. And the number is 95A, so it's got the whole number on there if somebody needs it. I've got a few others similar to it. Got a big long dash for like a Dyna or something. There's another starter. So I think these are all 5-speed starters. They're probably fine. That's the tabs are broke. That's from Shovelhead era. True dual. So a lot of this we're going to just have to go through. Oh, hello, baby. There we go. So there's a Morse magneto, Fairbanks Morse, and it spins. So that magneto with a tune-up and a new set of points, and I've got the cover. That's a $500 magneto right there, man. Sweet. Set of plug wires. What do we got here? Let's looky here. S&S Shorty Super E. They're a $300 carburetor right there. Easily $300 carburetor. And does she work? She does. Look at that. Okay. There's carburetor. Anybody need a Super E? I've got several of them. I like them. I think guys like me, if you're into Super E, you're into Super E's. Gauge clamp, just kind of universal. It's funny, I had a guy looking for these set of controls. I sent them to him just the other day. In fact, I think it was in the video we pulled off of that set of bars laying over there. So here's another set. Yep, another set identical. AMF Sportster or Shovelhead, they all ran the same controls. So that, and then the Shovelhead or the Sportster seat that I sold. All that stuff I sold last week, I just got replacements today of the same parts. Different parts. Keep looking for that other floorboard. Again, more gaskets in their package. Paco 40 and up center bolt mount. I don't know what it's for, but it's nice when they're in the gaskets that I can just run the numbers. So that's a carburetor rebuild kit of some sort. It's got the jet and the spring and the gaskets. So we'll save all that until we figure it out. So that's just new old stock stuff that he was cutting parts out of for something. We'll use it for something. Okay, so lower leg. So that goes on the bottom of your fork leg. Brakes. What are the brakes off of? Brand new in the box. Yeah, I'll have to run the parts numbers to see. I'm not familiar with what those fit, but we'll find out. What is this heavy box? Huh. So he bought it as an engine accessory kit. Oh, small block Chevy. So this is small block Chevy, but there's a lot of these 12 points. So at least it's 12-point Chevy because they're all American made. American thread. I don't have to worry about it. There's some Loctite. So there's a lot of that hardware that we can use. So that's hardware to hold the solo spring seat. I've got a brand new set on the wall over there. So just because it says small block Chevy doesn't mean there's a lot of good parts here for assembling. I mean, chrome bolts like that, 12-point, use them all day long for something. Oh, so I talked about those sporty controls. Look, there's a brand new replacement in the package. There's another one of those mirror, clamp-on mirrors. So I got to find the other one. That's a left and right for chopper mirrors. Speedometers, more controls, more levers, more axles, stuff. Another clamp. Okay, so just assorted stuff, cables. The score in that box was definitely the magneto, old Fairbanks magneto. So that's cool. Wonder if a guy can read it. So it's got some markings on there. It is US made. Yeah, I can't quite read it. So I don't know if they chromed it or it was chromed after the fact, but you can't hardly read the numbers. Yeah, I'll have to hook that up, put a set of points on it and see if it bites me. You know, by bites me, I mean electric. A well-tuned mag really runs good. So parts is parts. Okay, so pan over there. That's all the crap we went through today. Not to mention the couple front ends, the couple transmissions, all the front down tubes. And we went through the motors, we went through the wheels. So now we got this big box of stuff here. Again, this box says V-twin on it. So we're going to carefully look. Primary cover gasket 36 through 64. Okay, so these are your panhead primary covers, gaskets. They were old cork like that. So there's a 10-pack of those. That's kind of cool. Bearing, I have to check the number on the bearing, what it's for. So what's in this box? Yeah, Tenkin bearings. So these are wheel bearings. So that's the bearing race. Some of these Tenkin are kind of, you can't find them anymore. So these are That's a wheel bearing and race wheel bearing. Bada boom, and it looks to be a 3/4 axle, so that's a good set. But there's always 2 per wheel, so where's the other one, you know? There's a very small ring compressor for like a little tiny piston. I always get them confused. So your screws, these are all the same diameter on Sportster or Shovelhead for your nose cone. Shovelhead go up and down and Sportster go side to side, or vice versa. I can never remember on the holes. So that's either a cool old school Shovelhead or a cool old school Sportster points cover. Chevy grill molding clip, we don't care. Old school, does it work? Yeah, see, that's your old school FX or Sportster throttle cable. I've got a dozen of them, but you know, I get guys that call me on Marketplace all the time looking for this, that, or the other. I can make a buck or two, or I can just give them away. So those have been used, but they are Tinkins, and they'll, or have they? No, I don't think they have. I think they've just been sitting in a box for a long time. Oops. So that other one was the same. I'll have to wheel check these, but those are definitely can be cleaned up and used. That's a Shovelhead primary gas or bearing. It ain't usable. So a lot of this stuff isn't usable. Various mounting claps. Don't know what that's for. Don't know what that's for. It's plastic. So who knows? A lot of junk in that box. But bearings, panhead or knucklehead gaskets, you know. All right. Oh, wait, look. We found another one. I literally have about 30 of these guys. Somebody needs to come up with a really cool way of making art out of these, because I'll make you a deal. I think I showed you this. I think it's a knockoff. I'm not seeing any part numbers at all, but it's like a Hydroglide front end. When Harley first came out with that, I think it was late 40s, early 50s, like 49, 50, something like that. So that's a knockoff. They ran them on some of the Fat Boys and stuff like that too. And we got all these pipes, which I have no idea. Without pulling a couple out, we won't have an idea. So I got some Evo pipes in here. So I've got these saddle guard rails. I don't know what they fit yet, but that's a left and a right. So those are kind of cool. The saddlebag rails. That's a Shovelhead 2-into-1 pipe that somebody's cut, but there's parts there. Wanted to see what this is. So there's a 3-inch belt, which is still usable. There's a 1.5-inch belt. I'll have to measure the teeth on that. Those are good belts. Pipes, there's some more belts, some more pipes. Another set of trees. Just more stuff, man. Set of springs. Kind of cool, old school. So you could use just straight garden PVC as spacers for your springs. So these are your springs that go in your front end on a telescoping front end, hydraulic front end like that. So there's springs, spacers. Don't know why he's got it all wrapped up, but they were probably a set. Another Shovelhead pipe, bent up beat. Again, probably a wall hanger. We'll make something out of it. Another Shovelhead pipe, drag pipe. So we got drag pipes. We got a set of dual Evo something, shotgun pipes is what they call those. There's the other half of that drag pipe for the Shovelhead. Heat shields for whatever. A couple rear belts. So yeah, I'd say not a bad day, man. Hobson's Choice Harleys, we keep going. Right now it's just like a bomb went off in here, but what a score today. So if you saw anything you liked, comment. If you saw anything you want to buy, give me a shout out. You can reach me on YouTube or any of the other social media. And thanks for watching. I appreciate it, guys. We'll catch you on the next video.